Jack's already alluded to that, and you don't want him to get away. Formation looks good. 20 laps to decide a champion of Max Heavy by Lascombe Motorsport. Lights out. Slow start there for Zaloom. He did a bit of a jig in the seat, and he will get caught up on the outside, but comes through for third at turn number 2. Walker is the one who got bumped back to 4th place. They charge up to the top at turn 3 for the first time, nose to tail. Joy's in front of Hartley. Zaloom's in 3rd. Walker, Gould, and then the 15 right back there. In fact, brilliant start, Kevin Barker. Well, Barker's come from, I think, grid number 9. Fired himself up into the top 5. And they will make a run up into the sweeper for the first time here on this opening lap. Long race, 20 laps. Approximately, I don't know, that's probably about 23 kilometres. Joyce takes a casual look back. A little bit of a quick adjustment there on the radiator shroud. Off the final turn to complete lap number 1. Joyce, Hartley, Zaloom. Walker in 4th, Gould 5th, Kevin Barker 6th. 7th place is Cunningham, 8th place is Adam Bell. Zaloom through for 2nd. Well, he was very careful there. He put some wheels up on the ripple strip. You saw him take a hand off the steering wheel and just wave back to the man who's there in 3rd. That, of course, now is the 94 of Hartley. And Zach Zaloom will go in search of a race lead. 95 Joys in 1st. He'll take a look back right then. He took a look back then, and now he will know that it is the Tony Kart 92 of Zach Zaloom, a former champ, who is going to be hunting him down. Through the S's. We're not going to have true indication of race pace from Zaloom yet, but we will from the 95 of Joy's. 18 laps to go. 56.3 for Joy's. 56.2 for Zaloom, but I think Zaloom's got a lot more in that 92 yet. Still Hartley in 3rd, Walker 4th, Gould in 5th. Cunningham's made his way through for a top 6. As they stack up once again in behind the 95. Loose karts in the early stages of these finals. Tyre temperatures nowhere near optimum level. Depending on your kart setup, it all depends whether you have the tyres come on early on in this first half of a final or you have them come on late. Depends on driving style as well. There's your top 4 running through the top of the sweeper. It's a long corner that tightens up and then does that right, left, right onto the main straight. Very technical part of the track. It's great when you see the drone footage from up top to show you how tight that is through there. 17 to go. Zaloom buried in the back of the race leader, and Zaloom will make a charge down into turn 1. New race leader, 4th to 1st in a matter of 3 laps here for Zaloom. It's been a long time since he won a New Zealand title in this class. Dearly wants it back. He's never been so focused on his racing as he has been this year. Fair to say that he's played at his kart racing in the last 3 or 4 years. Oh, Joy's got to be careful he doesn't make a move that could compromise him. Had a look up the inside. Maybe he's just trying to put the willies up Zach Zaloom. But Zaloom, he's been around too long. He's been karting for, I think, maybe about 15 years these days. He was around in the junior days, and he is still around. That's one of the great things. They keep it real. You'll watch on the live stream interviews when you get home and when you get a chance to see this footage, and you will see the interview that I did with Zach. He keeps it real. He's always traveling with his dad. He just makes it fun. Most of the time they go and stay in their camper van. This weekend they've gone a bit more upmarket and they're staying in accommodation. But karting has to be fun, and a relaxed driver can be a successful driver. Zaloom with the race lead. 55.7 last time round for Zaloom. 55.9 Joyce, 55.8 Hartley, 55.9 Walker. So there's not much in it between the top 4. That's why they've stretched away from Gould, who's doing 56.1s, Cunningham 56.0. You can hear them as they hit that ripple strip off the bottom of turn 7. Zaloom perhaps with only a kart length over Campbell Joyce. Joyce will want desperately to stay with him. Zaloom takes a look back. Wow, he tucked right in. You could see there that kart just lit up, opened up another half a kart length as they cross the stripe. We're a quarter of the way through the Lascombe Motorsport Rotax Heavy Final. 15 laps till we crown a champion. Hartley under pressure from the 14 of Darren Walker. Well, the top two slowly starting to stretch away. 55.4 for Zaloom. 3/10 off track record pace. Zaloom will be praying that he has no issues with that 92. 95 Joy's there in second place. Watched him win a New Zealand title 2 years ago in Hamilton when he absolutely dominated it. No one even got a look in all weekend. From memory, fastest qualifier, won every heat race, pre-final, final. Doesn't get it much more dominant than that. And again, you can see Zaloom there. He's got brilliant pace off the switchback. In the first half of that back straight, he opens up a bit of a gap, but then Campbell Joyce reels it back in, and he's on his bumper once again down into turn number 1. Hartley still hanging on for third. Walker's in fourth, fifth place is Gould. Cunningham is closing on him. Cunningham's just slightly quicker than the 29 there in fifth place. And then when you go further back through the field into 7th, Adam Bell in the number 5 cart. From 15, Kevin Barker, 66, Felix Hume. And the 93, Kurt Margerison, is inside the top 10. Just outside that top 10, 69, Brendan Hart from Manawatu. Well, look at Joyce. He is putting pressure on Zach Zaloom. This is where Zaloom's good. Let's have a look again. He'll tuck in. Oh, there you go. He didn't that time. And the live stream would have just shown that I was telling fibs, because he didn't tuck in that lap. He's been doing it every other lap. Walker through for third place. Made the move on Hartley. And now the 72 of Cunningham is on the back of the 29 of Stuart Gould. Well, this is a good drive for Darren Walker. Up into the top 3 in this final. Zaloom opens a couple of kart lengths through the infield. 55.55 for Zaloom. Whole stack of 5s there for the 92. Campbell Joyce 55.59. 55.7 Hartley, but let's see what Darren Walker's got when he has some fresh air for a lap. Well, Zaloom found something on that lap. I'm expecting him to blow that lap time out of the weeds as they cross the strike this time. 55.34. 55.34. 2/10 off track record pace. 55.47 Campbell Joyce. And Zaloom has turned up the action a notch and found something out of this kart as we've got 12 laps to go, 11 laps to go, 11 and a half in fact, as the lap counter just changed over in front of me. You can see here on the live stream the race leaders in 3rd and 4th, not too far back. Zaloom in the Tony kart, part of the Morris Frost team, Supreme Kart Supplies and Engines. Zaloom takes a look back, tucks in. He's a solid lad, old Zach. He's able to use that body weight and transfer it when he needs to. I've watched him in the wet. He's brilliant. Joy's also, he's a big lad. Sits up high in the kart. Needs to tuck down to get the wind resistance down on that back straight. 11 laps to go. Walker 3rd. Hartley's 4th. Gould still in 5th. Cunningham 6th. 7th is Adam Bell. 8th place is Felix Hume. Margerison's 9th. Kevin Barker still inside the top 10. Well, let's look at Darren Walker's time, 55.8. Fastest on the track that last time was Campbell Joyce with a 55.37. So Joyce able to match the pace of the race leader. There's only 0.3 of a gap. 2 seconds is the gap back to 3rd and 4th. 2 battles in one for those podiums. In fact, 3 battles going on right there for the top 6 places in this championship, with Aaron Cunningham still going to work over Stuart Gould in the 29. They're running 56.0s. So about, it's quite a bit down there, about 6-7 tenths off the race leader pace. Half race distance in the final. Zaloom out in front, 55.45. Campbell Joyce was slightly quicker. Round through turn 2 to 3 at the top. The first of the elevation changes here at the Century Batteries International Raceway. Oh, Hartley went to the inside at turn 3 on Walker. Walker might have made the pass a few laps ago, But Hartley's not going to give up on it. He desperately wants a top 3 plate on the side of that 94. Zaloom working the wheel. You saw him through the bottom of that paperclip corner at turn 7. But he's got such a strong kart that he's able to open up a gap. I think that's his advantage right there, where he's got the bottom end pace off turn number 7. And then you'll see that Campbell Joys will reel him back in. They're both tucked in. And Joys will get closer as they go through that final turn there at turn 11 on across the start-finish line with 9 to go. Here comes Hartley for third. Down the inside, makes the pass on Walker. And Cunningham will do the same thing down the inside on Gould for 5th place. The KartSport superstar up into the top 5. It's still a step on the podium. You still get to talk at prize giving. We've got an early retirement. Brendan Hart, the 69 from Manawatu. Shame there for Brendan. He's a great supporter of KartSport, long-time sponsor as well through Manawatu Toyota. Well, Zaloom is doing a brilliant job out in front. Qualified fastest, won heats 1 and 2. Started on the front for the pre-final. Should have started on the front. Didn't even make it really off the start there on the out lap when he had an electrical issue. Put him to the rear, fought his way through for 4th place. Started in 4th on the grid for this final, and now has worked his way to the front and trying to hold out another ex-New Zealand champion in the 95 of Campbell Joys. Joys running 55.5, but the fastest lap time of the race, 55.2 for Zach Zaloom. He is 1/10 off track record pace. Zaloom has got that kart coming on strong in the last third of this final. Is it all over? No way. Don't discount that 95 of Joys, but certainly Zaloom has upped the pace. It's not that Joys has dropped off. He's still running 55.55. It's the fact that Zaloom all of a sudden has found another couple of tenths out of that 92. 3rd place, that battle is raging all the way to the finish. Walker's back in the 3rd spot. Back and forth they go for 3rd and 4th position. 7 to go. Walker in 3rd, Hartley back to 4th. 5th place is Cunningham, 6th is Gould. Cunningham's running 55.9s. Currently that's 6/10 off the pace being set by the man out in front. Brilliant live stream shot there as they ran through the very fast turn number 4. And then turn 6 is where they've just been. Then the turn 7, right at the bottom of the elevation changes here in KartSport Rotax. You can kind of get an idea of how much they have to climb up to this sweeper. And then they'll wind their way back through the switchback and run back down the mountain past all the media area and the gallery down here in the paddock. And Zaloom really is stretching away now. Well, there's a meatball flag. Who's going to get that? Will that change up the podium? Trying to see it. Was that for number 14? I can't quite see the number of that on that meatball flag. There they go down the pit chute early, so it hasn't affected the podium. Was it the 44? Well, yeah, it was Scott. It was Scott Allwright. I just saw it there as he laid it down on the bags. Number 44, Scott Allwright, got the mechanical flag. When you hear us talk about a meatball flag, it's the black flag with the orange big dot on it. We call it a meatball flag. That's the mechanical. That means your race is done. You come down the chute early, and that's an early finish for Scott. Back to the race lead. Stretching away. You can see the gap there now on the live stream. Zaloom, 5 laps to go. 3/4 of the way through the final here for Rotax Max Heavy, brought to you by Lascon Motorsport, your official Dunlop tyre distributor. Joys is in 2nd place. 3rd place is Darren Walker. Hartley's not given up on that position yet though. He's still in behind the number 14 kart, challenging for a top 3. 5th place is Aaron Cunningham. 6th, Stuart Gould. 7th is Adam Bell. 8th, Felix Hume. Through the paperclip for the race leader. Well, Zach Zaloom has just kind of worn down Campbell Joys. Joys took the fight to him early on. Zaloom just looks to be a little bit too strong in the second half of our second final here on day number 3 of the Giltrap Group New Zealand Sprint Kart Championships. Nice and clean through that corner for Zaloom. Head down, 4 to go. There'll be some anxious people out here in the gallery watching. A lot of Hawke's Bay people lined up around the paddock as well. One of the main men on the spanners there as well, Wayne Zaloom, looking on anxiously. So too will Morris Frost and the team. Of course, there's manufacturer cups up for grabs as well. Team Sodi took out that title last year. Long dominated by the Arrow team. Will we see a new name on the cup this year? Zaloom storms up through the sweeper. Onto the switchback. Joy's in second place. Let's have a look at this run for third and fourth place on the stream as well. They're at the top of the sweeper at the moment, going through switchback. Working their way down onto the back straight. Not too much in it here for third and fourth. 3 laps to go. 55.4 for Zach Zaloom. 55.8 for Joy's. The gap just keeps on increasing. 55.8 for Walker. 55.9 Caleb Hartley. Cunningham still in 5th. Stuart Gould 6th. Adam Bell is 7th. Top 8 for the 66 of Felix Hume. Just saw our third and fourth place battle stream past there on the live stream. This is further back in the field there with Cunningham going through the paperclip in front in 5th position. So that battle you're looking at there, 6th, 7th, 8th and then 9th place. Down the back straight, Zaloom. Well, he'll be counting off these laps. This will be a couple of the longest laps that Zach has had for a while. 2 to go. Still running fast times, 55.39. Half a second quicker now than Joyce, who I think is resigned to his fate. Walker in 3rd. Hartley in that 4th place position. That's where we need to be watching right now, is that battle for 3rd and 4th. There's Zach Zaloom, the race leader, kicking on for home with about a lap and a half to go. Looking for a 2nd national championship. There goes the 95 of Joy's in 2nd place. He put up a good fight early on, but here's the run for 3rd and 4th that we're looking at. 3rd place is better than 4th in any New Zealand championship, and it's Walker that's got that position over Hartley, but I don't know if Hartley's finished just yet. Through that long sweeper, it is a very long sweeper, very technical as it tightens up, and down the back straight they go. Walker just in front of Hartley. Will Hartley make a last lap lunge for 3rd place? Zach Zaloom on his way for a national title. The final lap of this brilliant Rotax Max Heavy final, brought to you by Lascon Motorsport. He had to work hard for it in the pre-final with a 16th to 4th place. He's back where he belongs. The final few corners. The long haul up the top of the mountain to the sweeper. He can almost push it home from here. 2nd place is Campbell Joyce. Walker's made a mistake at the bottom of turn 7. Hartley's going to make a run for it on the outside. But coming down the back straight to the final corner, he's a 2-time New Zealand champion, ladies and gentlemen, Zach Zaloom. 2nd place will go to the 95 of Campbell Joyce, who will get the run off the corner for 3rd place on the podium. Walker goes defensive, the arm is raised. Brilliant drive and championship for the number 14. 94, Caleb Hartley will come home in 4th. 5th place, the 72 of Aaron Cunningham. 6th place, 29, Stuart Gould. 7th is the 5 of Adam Bell. 8th place, 66, Felix Hume. 9th place, 93, Kurt Margaretson. 10th place, 15, Kevin Barker. 11th, 20, Mark Gargan. 12th place was the 32 of Hayden Knight. 13th place, 3NZ Ashley Higgins, although he's going to have to take that plate off now, unfortunately. And the last of our finishers in 14th, the 11 of Kyle Rankin. Good result there for Zach. He was the man of the weekend. Worked hard for it in that pre-final. That fight back in that pre-final won him that championship.
Yeah, certainly did. Yeah, faultless drive there for Zach. Him and his team deserve that hard-fought win. Yeah, good on him for coming through. But also good drive to Campbell Joyce and a nice battle for third and fourth between Darren Walker and Caleb Hartley. Came right down to the last corner. So not our biggest field, but yeah, one of the more exciting races we've seen so far.
Well, there you go, the second of our finals, run and one. We're down here in the IKS weigh scale area. The race winner just going through formalities on the scales. We'll just wait for him to take his helmet off. Can you get me on? Just wait for Zach to take his helmet off and come on over for an interview. Big thanks to Brian at Lascon Motorsports for sponsorship, mate. It was hard work in that pre-final, coming from grid 16 with that issue that you had to finish fourth. That was what won you this championship, getting back to fourth place and then dominating this final in the second half. Congratulations on a second New Zealand title.
Yeah, cheers, Mike. I'm pretty stoked, after what happened at the start of the pre-final, I had to work pretty hard to get through, and I knew it was important. But hey, we did there, and I knew we had the kart to go all 20 laps too. So I'm just wrapped we could all string it together and bring it home. Yeah.
That kart just came on in the second half. You were a 10th outside the track record pace. Campbell, you just wore him down. He couldn't run the pace that you had, and you were able to just bring it home. What was going through your mind in the last few laps?
It wasn't until about 2 to go where I had a really decent look behind and saw the gap that I had. And it's about then you start hearing things. So I just sort of tried to keep my head down and keeping my rhythm, and yeah, just slowly brought it home.
You had a lot of Hawke's Bay support on the fence and all through social media, mate. Congratulations on a second championship. I'll let you go and soak that up.
Yeah, awesome, Mike. No, I appreciate that, and shout out to everybody that's watching on the live stream too. Cheers. Thanks,
Zach. That's your New Zealand champion. We'll talk with the 95 as well. Campbell Joys, we'll get him back over here. Campbell, you took the fight to Zach early in that final. It was a long 20 laps. He was just a little bit too strong for you there at the end.
Yeah, car was good at the start. Zach got me and I was managed to stay with him, but I just didn't have the pace and the car sort of died off. I made a few errors and he really got away from me.
Still great to go away with a 2NZ plate.
Yeah, it's definitely not bad. Cheers.
Yeah, you do sound a little disappointed, and rightly so. You're all champions in your own right, and second place, yes, that's good, but you wanted the win, didn't you?
Oh, I definitely want the win, but second's not bad, and it's all a bit of fun.
All right, well done, mate.
Cheers.
Well, we'll get the 14 of Darren Walker over here as well. Arguably the happiest guy across the line. Mate, you had a brilliant run for that third place with the 94 of Caleb Hartley. You guys were going back and forth. You made the last few laps pass to get back into third and held on for it.
Yeah, I didn't even realise he was right there on that last lap, and then as soon as I saw him, I knew to go straight defensive. But yeah, no, I'm pretty stoked to get third. I know it's only third, but it's still number 3 on my kart.
Mate, a 1, 2 or 3, it's brilliant, and you look so happy crossing the line, and Caleb was right there, and in fact if you'd have backed off a little bit he might have even snuck by.
Yeah, I just had to keep him out. Yeah, I've never been up this far at a national event. It's only my second nationals ever, and to get third, yeah, I don't even know really what to say.
Makes it all worthwhile for the team, doesn't it, after a long weekend here at the Nationals?
Yeah, the last 5 days has been pretty hectic. Thanks to Dad for all the help, and Andrew for helping, and Matt for the motor from IKS, and for sorting me out the kart. Cheers.
Well done on the top 3, buddy. You definitely deserved it.
Thank you.